welcome back to the Zac Clark Show. I am super pumped for today's guest, who goes by the name of Cody Co. Cody came into my orbit a couple months ago because his team reached out and he was looking for a bib to the New York City Marathon, which we will be running together in 2 weeks. And Cody, what's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, man. Yeah, I'm stoked to be running the marathon with you guys, and yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great day.
The other fun fact here, Cody, is you will be our first, virtual guest ever. And
oh, really?
You will hold that. Yeah, I have like this weird thing where I am like overly OCD about doing all interviews in person because I just believe in that connection, but we had to get you on, so we had to figure the shit out.
No, I appreciate it. Damn, I guess I'm honored to be the first digital guest. Yeah. I actually prefer in person as well, but we live across the country from each other.
Yeah, you're in LA or West Coast, I assume.
Yeah. LA. But yeah, like we should maybe do it. Depending on how this one goes, we should do a follow-up episode in person.
Yeah, and I have...
Unless I'm just horrible this whole episode, then we can scrap the second version.
You'll be fine. I also have some folks out in the running community that are telling me that you are very fit, and anything that you tell me about your fitness level is bullshit because you're going to crush this marathon.
I mean, I've been training pretty hard for it.
You have, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say I'm like elite fitness by any means. I'm really good at training. I'm really good at like hitting every workout. Like I was a, athlete throughout high school. I was a college athlete. So like that is ingrained in my brain. Getting up, doing the work, all that stuff. For me, it's eating. That's the hardest thing.
Dude, eating and sleep for me.
Eating clean and sleep too, yeah.
Eating for me. Like yesterday I hammered brunch and pancakes and then ordered pizza and chicken parm sandwich at 3:00 and came out of a coma after watching football at like 8 p.m. Like, this is not what marathon.
Just like sweating pizza sauce.
Yeah.
You're like, why? Why did I do that? Yeah, that's like, yeah, I just eat kind of like shit. I wouldn't say like shit. I just eat too much of everything. Like,
well, you have a young kid too, right? That doesn't help.
Yeah. It's also, yeah, exactly. Like, getting him to eat is difficult enough. So it's like we just end up, getting somewhere or like going somewhere where we can get mac and cheese, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna have half that mac and cheese because he's not gonna eat it all, and but I just love food. Like that's like one of my ultimate vices. Like I love to cook. I love to bake, but I also just love to eat baked goods and delicious food. So yeah, that's what's tough. That's like it definitely gets in the way of my training because I guess I'm feeling it the most now just because I'm kind of reaching that like bottom limit in terms of, my mile splits. Like I'm reaching that sort of wall at like 7:30, 7:20 pace where I'm like, I actually physically cannot go faster than this for, over a mile or two. So if I ever wanted to even consider maybe trying to go for a sub 3 or 3:10 or whatever, like I'm going to have to lose some serious weight. I'm just, yeah. No, I don't mean at the New York. Yeah.
I do not. If you are not trained, because I have made that mistake. Have you run New York?
Yeah. 2 years ago.
Okay, so you know the deal with the energy and the bridge and starting slow and all that shit. I don't need to.
Yeah. That totally. Like I'd heard that before doing it 2 years ago. People told me like, it's like the bridges sneak up on you. You don't really realize it.
Yeah.
And I felt good race morning, went out super fast, of course, was just like, fueled off the energy of the crowd and the people. And I mean, I was running the best marathon I'd ever run. Like, this is like when I was probably trained to do like a 350 marathon. I was running like 740 splits. And then mile 20 just hit me like a train. And it was so funny because I found out after the fact that I was the most tracked runner on the app out of everyone that ran that year. So there was like tons of people on the side. Like I just made it very like public on my channels and stuff that I was doing this. So there was a lot of people on the sidelines cheering for me. Like, some people with signs even that had my name on it. and I'm just like hobbling by them like a zombie. I can't even smile at them. They're like, "Go, Cody!" And I'm like, and they're like, "Is he all right?"
Yeah, you're down bad at mile 22, and your fans
Oh my
are like
God.
wanting the sexy picture of you. Do still have it though. I got to tell you, I have there's a girl that works for me. She's young. She graduated from Syracuse. She found out you were coming on the show, and she lost her noodle, dude. I
Oh,
was like,
really?
this guy still got it. He's still
Oh, that's
got it.
funny.
He's got people that love him. So Naya, you'll have to meet Naya at the shakeout and give her a hug.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
She's like, I
for
waited
sure.
in line at 15 years old to meet him for like
Wow.
around the block. So there you go.
Wow, that's funny. That's funny.
So I got to ask, man, look, that leads me into, so we get this email from your team several months ago, and obviously there are hundreds of charities out there that offer bibs, and they were curious about our foundation, which we promote mental health, behavioral health care, substance abuse. Why release? Or was it just the first one on the page and you want to?
No. I mean, not at all. I don't know. I just love your guys' mission, but it also resonates with me personally because addiction is something that's affected myself and my family a lot. A few years ago, I lost my uncle from it, so it's something that has directly affected us in a pretty heavy way. And I have multiple family members that have dealt with it and are actively battling it, and so it's just something that means a lot to me. So I thought if I'm going to raise money for something, this is like the perfect cause for me.
Right. Were you tight with your uncle? I mean, do you remember? Did you watch him kind of?
Yeah, I wasn't super close with him because as I got older, I went to college, and you sort of drift apart from your extended family, but. I do remember he had been battling it for a long time and had gotten sober a couple times and, lived with his sister for a bit and, was just like always sort of actively battling it. And then up until the point where he, I think post-COVID, that definitely was a tough time for probably every addict on earth, or every person on earth, I guess.
Yeah.
But someone actively battling addiction, trapped in their home, not the most conducive environment to, fighting it. So I think, I don't know if that's when things went south, but he eventually lost his battle, and very extremely sad.
Yeah, it's a phone call you never want to get, and it's interesting because I assumed, right? Like I obviously did my due diligence on you and read all about your career and your kind of like rise to fame after going to Duke and the whole thing and being were you a swimmer? Was that right?
Diver.
Yeah. Okay. And you kind of had this overnight success. So I just assumed that, in your 20s, being a public figure and having people with so much access to kind of you and the messages and the online hate, that the mental health piece of this was going to be the thing that aligned with you. But, obviously, like, it's a valuable lesson because everyone, I think, has someone in their life who is struggling with addiction. It's just the truth.
Yeah, and I mean, like, obviously, I think I have, I don't know, a certain part of me thinks, like, I have those genes as well in terms of, like, that, part of the brain that, you can't turn off when it comes to certain things, and you can channel it to positive things. But I oftentimes, kind of fall victim to my vices a little bit. So it's something that I also battle kind of constantly. And it's a journey I'm still on, so to speak. So I can't say like I'm sober, I'm a sober person right now, but like it's something that I've like been thinking about for a long time. So, just candidly.
No, I mean, I'm proud of you for having that curiosity. I mean, there's a ton of people in my life that come to me and they think it has to be this black and white thing. And I say, dude, the reality is like you get to define what sobriety is. And if you're doing better than you were 6 months ago, that's cool by me. I mean, when I say I'm 14 years sober, I was a heroin addict, right? So I put down the drugs and the drink, and I know that if I pick something up, I'm probably going right back to the needle. That's just my truth. It doesn't have to be yours, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's like part of the reason why I love doing these races and having them on the calendar is it's like forces me to get my shit together. And I always end up, like right now I'm eating super clean. I kicked my nicotine addiction, which was just plaguing me for the last like year.
Zyn? Were you on the Zyn train?
Yes, dude.
Yeah,
And
dude,
it's a nightmare. I don't know. For me, it doesn't seem to affect people as negatively as it affects me. But like, what I would get as a benefit from these things is like a 2-minute buzz, and then I would feel like shit for like 3-4 hours, and I would just do them all day. So I'm constantly feeling like shit. My energy, it zapped my energy in the afternoons. So I was like getting into this horrible habit of like taking an afternoon nap and then just not working for the rest of the day. Really was just like I kind of sort of felt myself like losing myself to this stupid addiction, and the worst part was I couldn't kick it, and it's like
I am
it's
you
this
right
thing,
now.
right? Yeah, okay, so
It's bad. So people, I have the most fucked up relationship with nicotine, right? Like, so I used to be a smoker, and I would never smoke in the morning. Like I would smoke 3 cigarettes at night before I would go to bed.
Okay.
So I kind of like stopped that crazy behavior. And now my favorite thing to do is go for like a 20-mile run. And the second I am done, like throw 2 6-milligram Zins in the upper deck and just be like, I have arrived. It's so sick. It's so sick.
It's just like you sort of condition yourself for that to be the reward for doing something. Like I would eat a meal, and then it's like, okay, for dessert, it's a Zin. Go for a run. Okay, as a reward for doing this hard run, it's a Zin. And
were you? Do you mind me? Like, is it drinking, drug? Like what? Like when you say like you've had these thoughts around sobriety, or is it more
alcohol?
Just,
drugs to some extent.
Yeah. Appreciate your honesty. I mean, that's
really I mean, like I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna like lie and say like I know I have an addictive personality. It's not something where like for example, like my wife and I feel like her family, like they're just so good at like just having natural balance, and I think alcohol is one of those things for me where it's like I'm thinking about it a lot, which is probably not a positive sign, like if you're having to like, I don't know, think about it during your day-to-day work, like what time is it okay for me to have one of the,
Yep.
That's probably not a positive sign. So
well, that's a confusing. I mean, I've been very vocal about the fact that I think alcohol is actually the worst drug. And one of the reasons I believe that is because you can kind of keep it together for a long time, right? Like you can,
totally,
you don't necessarily have to burn it all down, but it's controlling your life to to the degree that you're talking about. I remember for me, the first time I knew I had alcoholism, I had a brain tumor and I got it cut out of my head, and I was in the hospital recovering from this brain tumor, and I was thinking to myself, like, when is my next drink? Which was just a crazy thought to have, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
I see some identification. We can talk, man. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's I just appreciate the honesty because I feel like people,
And like I said, like I don't know. I go back and forth on it. I'm still on this journey, I'm not like in a place where I'm like, oh, I definitely need to stop doing this. But I do think that there is a point probably pretty close in the future where I will like heavily consider that, because I also like, for example, for these races, same thing, I'll go sober for a month or two and my life always just gets better. I'm like, if it's getting better in these small, periods of time where I do this, then I can't imagine it wouldn't get better forever if I stopped for, good. So I don't know. It's still something.
I mean, and it's an awesome community. I can tell you that. It's a lot of love, and my experience is that controlled drinking's miserable. Like I never wanted to go out and have just 3
one
beers.
or two, yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't. I wonder if any of it like goes back to like, do you remember when your videos started to kind of like, your very funny. I got to give you that. And like, so when you started to like have some of this success, was there a level of addiction there? Like, were you then like chasing it, and then would you like check and see how a video was performing, or were you just full speed ahead and knew you had something, so you were going to attack it with full speed? Because it was Vine, and then you had to move over to YouTube, obviously, when that shut down, right? I mean, can you give us?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I think, as I said before, like, I think this is a quality that you can channel into positive things. But yeah, there definitely is like a little bit of an addiction to working, I guess, or to my ambitions. I think it's something I can't really turn off. Like, I just always want to work on 5,000 things at the same time and try to do as much as I can. So, I mean, having a kid has really checked me on that, I guess I should say.
Is the kid's name Otis? Is it Otis?
Yeah, it is.
That's the greatest name.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, people are pretty conflicted on that name, I feel like. Half the people that we tell, like, think it's a dog name, and the other half are like, that's the greatest name I've ever heard.
I love it. I have a buddy that like is in our friend group, and we always called him Otis, so it's like and I love that guy, so it's a very endearing name for me.
Good, yeah. But yeah.
So the work addiction, yeah, I mean, look, what I'm seeing today in my work is like gaming, gambling, sex, success, money, drugs, like it all kind of swirls in this same part of the brain. And so it doesn't surprise me to hear that, and what is work now? Like, what do you, aside from the training, what do you focus on, or what do you, like, because you're 34 now. I mean, it's not like you're a young kid. Obviously, you're having to make decisions around, like, how you want to, carry yourself into the next iteration of Cody.
Yeah. I mean, right now I'm really focused on my second channel, like posting as much as I can there.
Is that the fitness? That's the fitness stuff?
That's not. This is like my reaction, more like commentary style videos. So I have an amazing team, and we've spent the last couple years just kind of like, oiling our content pipeline. And so we're able to put out these, like 20 to 40 minute videos, like 3-4 times a week now. In November, we're going to do a series where we post every single day. So, like, it's taken a while to get here, but it's something that has been really fun to work on, and I'm really proud of the videos that we put out. So that's been really fulfilling. And then, I'm also training. I have an oats company, so I'm working a little bit on that. And then basically the other, like, 40% of my time probably is filled with music. So, like, I DJ'd in college, and then, made comedy rap music for a while, and then started DJing EDM again like 3-4 years ago. And because I started DJing, I basically downloaded Ableton again, started making like edits for my set, because I got a residency at the Wynn through this whole thing. Crazy.
It's crazy.
And so I started making songs for my own sets, and through that I just kind of fell in love with, I don't know, I want to say being creative again, because it really reminds me of the first days of making YouTube videos when I would do everything myself, right? I would like come up with an idea, I would film it, and then I would edit it myself, and then I would make the thumbnail myself, and I would put it up, and I would title it myself, and everything was me. And it just felt like this, like, I don't know, like this, each one of these things was its own little creative project. Through and through, from beginning to end, it was me.
How many years
now it's
ago
not like that. This is 10 years ago.
No, I mean, the people that make our thumbnails are not anywhere, like they are in a foreign country somewhere that we pay.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I fully admit that, it's just completely outsourced.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically with me now, too. Like, my team is incredible. They know exactly what I like to film. So basically my only role is to sit down and film it. That's it, and it's still a creative, like, I get to, satiate that creative part of my brain when I sit down and film for an hour, but it's not all me. And like with music, you open up this blank thing and you just like start creating, and by the end of it, hopefully you have a song that's like half decent. And it's like every day I'm getting a little bit better. So it's really, it's not really making me any money yet producing music, but like it's making me feel really fulfilled. So I'm just doing that a lot, honestly.
I mean, I'm sure the win is not an easy environment if you're like someone that's out there, questioning your relationship to alcohol, like it's.
Yes, that's that, and it does not go well with training at all.
No.
It's the two just completely clash. Because also, like, I'm a early to bed, early rise type of guy.
Yeah.
Like, just naturally. It's not even like a, you gotta wake up at 5 a.m. and journal and do all that shit. I just wake up at 5. Like, it's just my natural cycle. That's just my chronotype or whatever the fuck it's called. So, like, on Friday I did a show, and I opened, so I'm not even going on at the headliner slot, which sometimes I do, and I'm still going on at midnight. The headliner goes on at 1:30. So sometimes I'm up till 3:30 on these nights that I play shows. And, if you got to run the next day, oftentimes I'll just, like, punt it to the next day, wake up, not do anything, So, yeah, it's like not really conducive to living a healthy lifestyle, but also it's, like, so fun.
You love it.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Well, you're not a professional runner, so you can do both. I mean, like, I had to, like, swallow. Like, Instagram these days is just such a mind wreck, because I go on and, like, there's these guys that, like, look like me and you that are running 2 hour and 45-minute marathons, and then you have to, like, understand that they are literally spending their entire lives working towards that, like, time, which.
Yeah. Like,
sure.
did you see, who's the guy, Just Truitt?
Yeah, dude, nuts.
Bro, that guy is insane.
That's Cameron Haynes'. Do you know Cameron Haynes? That's his son.
Yeah, okay, so I wasn't familiar with Cameron Haynes, but then there was some comments about that, so I clicked on his profile and dove in a little bit on him, too. Yeah, like, just insane. But, like, I couldn't believe the fact that he ran he ran like a 3:40 last year or something like that?
Yeah, now he's
whatever it was, like 2:39 or something.
See, here's the thing, Cody. I look at that and I tell myself I can do that, and I know that's not true. But there's a part of me that says, okay, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, I look at that and I'm like, well, if he can do that, I can definitely do sub 3. But I'm never gonna do a 2:39 or whatever the fuck he did. He's so clearly, like, just naturally, it's got something. I mean, the guy is just, not saying he doesn't work hard, but, like, just look at his body. Like, he's built to do this shit,
No, of course. I mean, that's the other thing.
I'm built to eat donuts.
Yeah, there's guys on the internet slinging protein, and they have their shirts off, and I'm like, dude, protein does not do that. Like, that is not protein. There is something else helping you, and I wish you were being honest with me.
Oh, you're saying he's juicing?
No, not him. No,
okay.
Not.
You're just saying the guys on Instagram. Yeah, okay.
There are certain.
Yeah, are we starting some beef here?
Yeah, controversy. Yeah, for all the wrong reasons. But I gotta ask. So back to just, like, the mental health, behavioral health care. You like at 34 years old, right? Like, you've had this kind of, you've been in the public eye for now, like, what, 10, 12, 15 years or whatever it's been. Like, are you kind of numb to all of it? Is it just a day in the life? You expect people to write things in the comments and...
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty... I mean, I know I keep bringing it back to this, but, like, I really do think that having a kid's just sort of zapped, like, every sort of last, I don't know, care about what other people think, I guess. Like, really, I just want to make great stuff and then put it out and then go home and be with my family. Because that's all that really matters,
And is that kind of like what you would say to a younger Cody, or like someone who is up and coming now? Like, what would you
like, have a kid?
Yeah, have a kid at 22, so you don't care about all the other shit that 20-year-olds think about, or
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of you kind of need to have sort of an ego to like make it in this world, I guess. I don't know. If you're in your 20s and you're like grinding away at content and trying to be an influencer or whatever, you kind of need that sort of, I don't know, ignorant sort of, you don't need it, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know, I probably wouldn't tell a person like that, like, oh, all you got to do is settle down and have a kid, because it's just like the phase of life I'm in. It just sort of naturally happened that way, where I did like, you know, I cared a lot for 10 years about what people said and the comments and everything.
That's my question. Like, look, in a very different way. Like, I was on the show The Bachelorette, and I woke up after that season aired, and all of a sudden I am someone that, like, for a brief moment, people in the world know, and that was very jarring to me. And I remember feeling like my privacy and my sanity was kind of taken away from me. And I just, whenever I talk to someone else who's kind of had an experience of this overnight, whatever it is, I just ask them, because I feel like my mental health was just shot there for a minute.
Yeah. I've definitely gotten better at dealing with that stuff now that it's been, you know, however long I've been doing this, 12, 13 years, for sure. But, you know, I still get affected by it a little bit. But for the most part, I just, like I said, it's just, I'm happy here. And I feel like I'm, you know, decently content at where I am. So as long as I'm just able to work on shit that I find is fulfilling, then I'm happy, you know? And train too. Like, training keeps me just mentally super healthy, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's my drug today. That's my booze today. I mean, the run, and I've had doctors kind of look at me and say, like, dude, why are you running your 17th marathon? Isn't there like something else that you can turn some of your, and like, the reality is my best days are the days where I get up in the morning and I run, and I don't really care to change that, you know?
Yeah. I'm with you on that 100%.
So looking forward, man, what are we really looking at here for this race? Do you have a goal? Like, do you have something?
Yeah. So I ran LA in March, and my time was, well, my Strava time, my chip time was 3:29. My Strava time was 3:27, and that by far was my PR. So I want to smash that. I want to break 3:27, but like, breaking 3:20 would be really nice. But I don't know. You know, it's a scary one. Even saying that kind of scares me. Just because I know it's going to hurt.
It's going to hurt. I went 3:46 to 3:21, which was a huge jump, and then I ran 3:13 in Minnesota like a year ago.
Nice. So what's your goal now?
So I'm 41, so 3:05 is the Boston qualifier. I don't think I'm here. I don't think I'm there now. I think I probably have one or two more blocks. So if I PR, that's like a miracle in New York. I would love that, which is a 3:10, 3:11. But there's so many factors. It's like the weather, you know, the body. I mean, the marathon, as we see time in and time out, like, owes us nothing. So we can get out there and just feel like shit, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, I felt the same way for the LA marathon. I was just scared. You know, I was also like in a way worse spot health-wise. I was injured. I did my own training program, and I just overtrained like crazy. So I was in this horrible place. So I was even more scared for that. And then race day, everything lined up perfectly. I don't know what happened, but it was like the race gods, you know, shined their light on me for some reason. It was like perfect weather. I ate and drank perfectly. I felt amazing. I've never had a race like that before, besides maybe my 50-miler that I did, where I just felt incredible from start to finish. And like, I was gassed by the end. I was definitely cooked. But like, I wasn't, like every other race I've had, I haven't been able to speak at the finish line because I'm like, I gave 110% out there. Like, I got nothing left. But this one I finished and I was like, I think I got a lower time in me, probably. So that's kind of what inspired this training block. So like, was really diligent about like healing this injury, and then now I've been training for this one for 16 weeks. So all I can hope is that like it goes somewhat like it did in LA, and I should be able to PR. But you know, if the weather's too warm or something else happens, then you know maybe
so
that's
you're
not.
rolling some 710, 715, 720 miles. I mean, like you're getting after it a little bit.
I mean, yeah, my hope is like I can maintain. Yeah, like my run yesterday, it was like 2 mile warm up and then 8 miles at race pace, and I did that at 7:30.
Right,
But it was hard.
No, you're right there though. I mean, that's
Yeah, so I'm. But again, like that like it's the limit, you know. Like
I don't know, man. I feel like New York people are crazy about New York, and like maybe this will help your mindset a little bit. I think you and I are similar in some of our addictive tendencies, if you will. I don't want to label anyone, but like I actually like the hills because I know that like on the other side of it is this downhill rather than the 26 miles of just like flat. Like my like brain, my ADD needs to be occupied by like the bridges and everything. And so I actually find I do better in New York than the flat whatever marathons.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I think those downhills really are positive for like the mental. It's like you get even more of a runner's high, you know? Like when you're going downhill on one of those hills, at least like 2 years ago I did. Like I ran some of those downhills. Some of my splits like near the middle of the race are like 6:45. It's just because it was like happened to be a downhill one, and I was just cruising because like the crowd was cheering, and I just felt incredible.
Yeah, you're gonna do it again. Who's your coach? Is it Roberto or is you?
Yeah, Roberto. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Yeah,
he trains my buddy Casey Neistat,
that's who I got him from.
Yeah, Casey's had I mean, that guy's journey. I saw him the other day out on the West Side Highway. He was clipping like 650s. I'm like, dude,
I don't know how he does it. He's so fast.
He runs every day.
Yeah, that was one of the things. So, yeah. So this was probably like 2 months ago or something. You know, we've both been posting our, you know, Strava runs or whatever on our stories, and he's like hitting me up like, how's training going, blah blah blah, and he's like, what weekly mileage are you at? And I'm like, you know, I'm maxing out like 45, 50. What are you at? And he's like 80.
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah, and this is like 10, 12 weeks before, or no, even more, like 3-4 months before the race. He's at 80 miles a week already, and I'm like, maybe I'm not doing enough. So I think like, so one thing that Roberto's been really good about is like programming. Like he's really serious about rest days. And whenever I've done my own training schedules, I always overtrain because I just don't think that days off exist. So I'm just like, no, go every single day and never take a day off. And now it's like I get 2 days at least a week completely off. And like I've gotten a lot faster because I'm like letting my body actually soak up the gains from these, you know, big runs that I'm doing.
Yeah.
But that being said, I think what I'm going to do after New York is sign up for another race, you know, another 16 weeks in the future, and try to do like a really big build like that.
That's where I am right now.
Consistently 70, 80 mile weeks.
Yeah.
And how does it feel?
I feel stronger than I've ever felt. I don't feel faster. So I'm hoping that there's some, like now that I'm going to get into the taper, like today was my kind of like last big workout. I'm hoping that I can kind of get into feeling faster. I just don't know. I mean, like we have bibs for London, which London is a great. So I'm gonna see how New York goes, and then I don't know. Maybe we'll be running London together. That's a. Have you done that one or no?
No, never.
That one's
good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just good crowd. It's, you know, there's enough to look at and kind of, but I don't know.
I would love to do all of them. You know, all the big ones.
Are you into it? I mean, like, do you have the bug kind of?
Well, I mean, I grew up watching my parents do endurance sports. Like both my parents were Ironman athletes. My dad, I don't know if you know this, but my dad broke the world record for the longest distance traveled in 24 hours by human power.
What?
So he like designed a recumbent bicycle with a shell around it and rode it around a track for 24 hours straight and broke the record. And 1 year he was in the Guinness Book of World Records, like full color picture of my dad. And I got it for Christmas that year. I think I was like 14 or like, probably 12, 13, something like that. And got the Guinness Book of World Records, as I did for Christmas every year. I got it that year, and there's a picture of him in it. It was pretty cool. So, like, that was my environment growing up, is seeing my parents do these things. So, like, I've always had the bug. It's just always...
Brother,
I've
there
never...
are some genes in your family that are,
Yeah.
make for some extreme behavior.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So it's just always been... Like, when I stopped diving... it only took me like, I don't even know, like 6 months before I started running. Because I was like, I need something to stay in shape. This makes sense. My parents do it. Started doing it. Fell in love like pretty much immediately. And now since then, I've done an Ironman. I've done 3 ultras. Or 2. No, 3. And a handful of marathons. So yeah. But as for right now... I've always kind of flip-flopped, like, between marathon and ultra, because, like, once I'm done in a marathon training block, I'm like, I don't want to see pavement ever again. I want to be out on the trails. And then I train for an ultra, and I'm like, fuck the trails. I never want to see those again. I'll go back to marathon. But this is the first time in my life where, like, I feel like I'm getting faster, and I'm like, I don't want to stop this train. I want to see how far it goes.
Yeah, that's what hooked me a couple years ago. Like, when I saw the benefits of like track workouts and speed workouts and running like the tempos and the fartleks, like I was just going out and grinding out miles, and I had no coach, and I suffered because of it. And so like the last 2.5 years, I've actually had a coach and been trying to make some gains. So we're at a similar place in the journey, and just, I mean, I'm just so grateful for you, man. I mean, like, your honesty in this conversation is going to help some people. I think there's a lot of people out there that probably, question some of the ways they live, question some of the decisions they make. And so for you to be sitting here as someone who's had a great deal of success in life and kind of share some of the shit you're going through, it's appreciated. And the fact that you're kind of, honoring your uncle by running for us, man, it's a big deal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's the reason why I say this stuff, really, is to help anyone else that might be having similar thoughts. Like I said, I'm not someone that's going to sit here and be like, I've committed to being sober or whatever, because it's just like, I don't want to lie. I don't want to be, not candid, but like, it is something that has affected my family, and it's something that I think about a lot. So, like I said, I think what you guys are doing is phenomenal, and I'm happy to be part of the cause. So.
I mean, look, I always say it's more important to have allies like you, like people that actually aren't sober, to help break down the stigma, because the reality is like, no one wants to listen to the sober guy, right? Like, we want to listen to the people that are actually being honest about it and in the moment. And so, obviously not labeling anything. And for all we know, you could have a pretty healthy relationship with alcohol for the next 40 years, like who's to say? But I think it's just really authentic to share the way that you did, and it's definitely going to help some people. So I'm grateful for it.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome to hear.
Well, I guess we will see you. I don't even know when we're going to air this. I guess we're going to turn it around pretty quickly this week, because it's kind of a marathon episode. Anything else on mental health, on your career, anything you're trying to promote?
Get some oats. If you want a pre-race meal or pre-training meal, cosoats.com.
What is it?
They're just instant oatmeal. Co's Oats.
Okay.
KOSOATS.com.
Why'd you do oats?
Because like when I was training for Ironman, I was documenting, like the whole process. I think it was like an 8-month training block. So I vlogged the whole thing, and like one of the most consistent things I did in the videos was eat oats before I trained. And it became this joke that like every morning I made oats and they were fucking horrible because I had no idea how to make oats. And then when I was after the thing, when I was thinking of, or like after I finished the Ironman and stuff, I was thinking about like a product or something that I could try and make a go of for a business. And I was like, what about oatmeal? Like, because I think I finally figured it out. So Co's Oats was born. And now I eat it before a lot of my training. And I personally love them. It's just instant oatmeal, so it's it's taking sort of like the basic flavors that we all know and love that Quaker's been making for the past 40 years and sort of elevating them a little bit. So yeah, they're great.
All right, so we'll check out Kozos. We will make sure that we track you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a close battle. I was talking to Casey the other day. I said, I think you're probably the most tracked runner in the history of the New York City Marathon, because he's done it a ton of times.
Yeah.
And people love that guy. So
yeah,
it'll be curious to see who's tracked more this year, Cody or Casey.
I think it's going to be him.
Yeah. We'll see. And we will see you in just a couple weeks, man. Stay healthy the next couple weeks.
You too.
I appreciate you coming on here, and we'll link in person when you're here in the Big Apple.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for having me, man.
All right, Cody Co. Thanks for coming on, brother. See you.
Yep. Later.
Peace out.